New week, pull up. I'm your friend Shamika Sanders here with Kiara Kelly and this week's guest host, Allison McGevna. It's time for another conversation and a whole lot of information. Hit that share button and get ready to repost all this goodness because Listen to Black Women starts now. In 2018, there's a pretty good chance you own a smartphone.
Whether you're team iPhone or team Android, it's a safe bet that you're on social media.
So depending on your platform of choice, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, you can get a whole range of really well-crafted images, perfectly filtered pictures, witty hashtags, and social media can definitely be a one-stop shop for anyone who just loves visuals.
While folks are shouting out their latest travel adventures, fitness wins, and bagels, there's a really interesting narrative connected to Black women.
According to a recent Nielsen study, Black women reign supreme when it comes to social media, with 80% of Black women owning their own smartphones and then 57% of us owning tablets. So we stay highly connected through our group chats, which be lit, and we spend a lot of time on social media.
You need some more numbers because that same survey estimates that 72% of Black women frequent Facebook the most, that's the fave, with lots of time spent consuming Instagram, Google+, and Twitter, much more than our Latina and white friends.
Considering all the time we spend on the net scrolling past the happy, wealthy, fit people, do you ever wonder if everyone else's life is as picture perfect? How do you feel when you discover all those couples aren't happy? Bankruptcy is looming and those people are gaining just as much weight as we are. So that brings us to the question of the week. Has social media hashtag goals changed our perception of reality? Now it's time to see what folks are saying for this week's social media roundup.
Huge congratulations to our girl Taraji P. Henson and her fiance, former NFL player Kelvin Hayden, newly engaged. Taraji posted, "I said yes, y'all."
A couple weeks ago, the Met Gala had the socials lit. Fans were quick to give props to their favorites on the carpet. At Conscious Kingdom posted a photo set writing hashtag Black Brilliance at this year's hashtag Met Gala.
Y'all saw I photoshopped myself into that picture.
With that stick figure.
But what happens when the romantic story you tell doesn't match reality? So Peppa from Salt and Pepper posted her new boo. It was all, oh my God, love, love, love. His wife came out and said, nah, boo.
Wait, his wife? He had a whole
Yeah,
wife?
catch that. I threw that out there really quick.
But you know, worse than the posts themselves sometimes definitely are the comments, right? Because people are so mean. And like, I feel like when celebs post themselves, you're right. They open themselves up to trolling, but that's rough.
It will literally be a picture of a girl smiling and they'll be like, you're an ugly bitch. And it's just like, she just wanted to have a good day. I don't know. Trolling and cyberbullying is real. These can have real life effects with a lot of people carrying emotional stress and mental issues outside of social media.
Actually, a second study from that same Pew Research Center on online harassment found that 59% of Black users have experienced harassment versus 41% of white users. So there's a huge disparity there. It's crazy.
Absolutely. I'm just thinking of Leslie Jones, too, all of the hate that she was exposed to. It's really, really scary. We got to protect us online, too.
Yes.
Ladies, it's time for the receipts. Over the last week, we polled MadameNoire and Hello Beautiful readers about their social media appetites, and y'all is hungry. We got some really interesting feedback from you guys. So first, we asked how many times a day do you check your social media accounts, with 37% of pollers saying that they check their social media over 10 times a day, and 24% check 3 to 6 times a day. 22% less than 3 times a day, and 17% stay off their phones all day.
I think the important thing is definitely to make sure that you don't do it when you're like with your family or your loved ones. Like, you know, you have to really unplug from that and plug into your loved one.
Our poll also asked, what's the longest you've ever gone without being on social media? With 56% of people polled saying they'd stayed off the net for more than a week. I mean, the nature of our jobs, I think, makes it really, really hard for us to stay off, but I don't think I've gone a day. Then we pried the audience about what things they think are better left off of social media, with 45% of people polled saying relationships should stay off the net. What do you guys think about relationship goals? I know, Allie, you were talking about your husband you hide him.
Yeah, well, first of all, I never tag him in anything. Nobody knows his first name. Nobody even knows my last name, my real last name on social media. And so, you know, I think that's really important because it just minimizes the stress of things.
We also asked the audience, have posting your social media feed made you feel envious, depressed, frustrated, with 78% saying yes. I'm right there with you, sis.
I feel like when people say it doesn't, they're lying. You're a lie. Because I really believe that sometimes no matter what you're feeling, like, you know, it doesn't matter. It could be that on Mother's Day, you know, maybe you lost your mother and it's hard for you to watch those things, or maybe you lost out on a job and you know the person who got it. Like, you can't help but feel sad, and that's human. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, there is someone who's lived most of her life on TV and social media, and we spoke to her about this very topic. Yandy Smith gave us some insight about real life versus hashtag marriage goals. Check out Shamika Sanders' interview with the reality TV maven.
So there are many struggles, but do I want the world criticizing and judging and having an opinion about everything I got going on? Yeah, I criticize and judge enough.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to give you something, I'm going to give you what I want to give you. And I think that that's where, and I give you truth. I give you when I'm missing him. I give you when I'm struggling with certain things. But there's certain things that I feel like this is for me.
Yeah.
And this is for me and mine. And if people have a problem with that, oh well.
So props to her for being so honest on that. She always is, but you know, that's a really hard conversation to have. So I'm proud of her. We love you, Yandy.
So my question is, when you fabricate, who is it for? Is it for yourself, or is it because you want other people to think something about you? A lot of times people are fabricating and curating the lives that they want you to think that they're living. I have seen some travel posts that have me like, where's my passport? I need to be on a beach photographed with my legs up in the ocean behind me, you know, and I may not even have money to do all that. What do you think?
I think that it's that you want people to think something about you for yourself. It's the same thing. It's like, I think people do it because you like the validation. A lot of what we face in our regular day-to-day life is a lot of rejection, a lot of stress, things like that. So there's something positive that comes from strangers and your friends kind of giving you that love that they may not give you when you walk down the street, right? Like when you walk down the street, not everyone's like, you look fly, but they'll do it for you on the gram. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Heart emoji, you know, like that doesn't.
I see you commenting.
Actually, a recent Huffington Post article shared some interesting statistics about social media and self-esteem. After interviewing active social media users, both men and women, ages 28 to 73, 60% reported that social media had negative effects on their self-esteem. So even though if you're looking for that validation, if you're not getting it, people are feeling negative.
Single folks, listen up. SinglesInAmerica.com, that is a real website, polled close to 6,000 unmarried people and discovered 57% of singles face major FOMO, which is fear of missing out, which was triggered by posts on social media. Do you think that being single is more painful in the age of social media than it was before?
It's not even that. I think it's harder to be in a relationship in the age of social media. It's harder to do everything. Like, I feel sorry for the kids who are in junior high now and high school because social media is everything. I feel like this next generation, it'll slow down a little bit, but for this generation, they live their entire lives with like Kylie Jenner being their goals, you know?
With all that being said, do you think social media has changed our perception of reality?
Yes, I think it has. And what I'm trying to do to combat it in my personal life, because social media is not going away. It's too much of a money maker at this point. But I'm trying to just share more of my flaws. And so I had a whole Insta story where I really talked about the scars on my legs. And honestly, to just be honest about things I don't like, it makes me feel a little more freer and a little more human in a place where it's like looked down upon to be human.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like I've always tried to take the social media approach to show, you know, the real side of me and that I'm not perfect. And, you know, I think when you sell the perfection, people read through it. Like, people know that's not real. So, and I just think right now we're all hungry for authenticity, you know? And so I do think it's changed the way we think, but I feel like we should use it for the better.
I agree. I think I have learned to just take a deep breath. If a hair is out of place or something is out of place, like you said, people are looking for that authenticity. And I get a lot of people who respond to me and say, I want to see more of your personality. And I'm flawed naturally, so I'm just trying to lean more into that. Another enlightening conversation in the books. Huge thanks to Hello Beautiful's Kiara Kelly, guest host Allison McGevna, and thank you for staying tuned. If you liked something you heard during this week's conversation, make sure to hit that share button. I'm Shamika Sanders, and I bet you know by now, it's nearly impossible to go wrong when you listen to Black women. See you soon.